Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I sound like I'm speaking really loudly underwater, which is a neat trick, which I don't know how to do. We're kind of far-flung today, which is, I guess, okay. You know, usually I like to have a tighter community. I will invite people who wanted to come over here, and if not, well, there's a reason we're Reformed. Sit where you want, right? This is an amazing night. And those of you in the community who know us well know that we've been waiting for this moment for quite a while. This is the first Shabbat where Rabbi Gorbin, Cantor Berman, and I are together. And we're so delighted. So we're going to start off with the Shehechianu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Shehechianu v'kirmanu v'hegianu lahazman hazeh. If you've not been with us before, we pray out of this prayer book. This is the pew rack in front of you. It's called Mishkan Tefillah. It is a right to left opening book. And we're going to begin at the beginning, which I'm told by the sound of music is a very good place to start. So on page 344, you're going to find one of our favorite songs by Julie Silver. It's called Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash. Page 344, the right-hand part of the page. And I know you know it. We've done this for several years now. And if you don't like the Hebrew, there's English as well. And so then I want to hear your daughter sing because she's got such a gorgeous voice. Page 344 goes like this. Shiru Ladonai Kol Haaretz Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash Shiru Ladonai Kol Haaretz Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash. Look at the English. Sing unto God all the earth a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God and we'll all sing along. All the earth a new song unto God. Shiru Ladonai Kol Haaretz Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash. Just you. Shiru Ladonai Kol Haaretz Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash. If you will please turn it in your book all the way to the beginning, going from right to left. On that page, on page 2, you will find the Seder Hadlakat Haner, the service of lighting candles for Shabbat, to be followed by Kiddush, the sanctification of wine for Shabbat. We're going to ask Carol and Maureen to come up and help us with those prayers, for which we all rise. Laura, I'm going to give you your microphone. Do you know how to do this?
Yes.
Come on up here. So, here, let me help. Blue light, going vertical.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, ruler of all, who commands us, makes us holy with commandments, and commands us to light the lights of Shabbat. If you turn the next page, on page 5, you'll find Kiddush. Harold, who was taught in our school since 65? 66.
To 2011.
2011. He's going to lead us in Kiddush.
So I'm older than 65, really.
Yes.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kasho v'ahava Rabson hin pilanu, zikaron l'maaseh bereishit, ki hu yom tefillah, lamikraye kodesh, zeker l'tziat Mitzrayim, ki vanu acharta, ve'tanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha, ve'ahava u'ratzon, hinchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha-shabbat.
Amen. Give her some. She's very nice. Please, everybody, be seated.
Together we join on page 125, or page 7.
Close.
Where has this week vanished? Is it lost forever? Will I ever recover anything from it? Please join with me. The joy of human life,
the unexpected
victory, the realized hope, the task accomplished. Will I ever be able to banish the memory of pain, the sting of defeat, the heaviness of boredom? On this day, let me keep for a while what must drift away. On this day, let me be free of the burdens that must return. On this day, Shabbat, abide. Help me to withdraw for a while from the flight of time, contain the retreat of the hours and days from the grasp of frantic life. Let me learn to pause, if only for this day. Let me find peace on this day. Let me enter into a quiet world this day. On this day, Shabbat, abide. Page 9. There are days when we seek things for ourselves and measure failure by what we do not gain.
On Shabbat, we seek not to acquire, but to share.
There are days when we exploit nature as if it were a horn of plenty that can never be exhausted.
On Shabbat, we stand in wonder before the mystery of creation.
There are days when we act as if we cared nothing for the rights of others.
On Shabbat, we remember that justice is our duty
and a better world our goal.
So we embrace Shabbat, day of rest, day of wonder, day of peace.
If you turn the page of page 10 at the bottom, or 128 in the parentheses, you'll find the very first modern song written by a non-rabbi about Shabbat. It was written by Theodor Nachman Bialik, who is really the grandfather of Hebrew poetry and its re-entry into the modern world. He wrote this beautiful piece called Shabbat HaMalkah, the Shabbat Queen. And the lovely thing about it is you can appreciate the rhyming and the beautiful rhythm of the Hebrew, but we sing the English to the exact same tune. So if the Hebrew doesn't get you the first time, sing on the English the second. Turn the page and you'll find the beginning of what are called the Kabbalat Shabbat Psalms. It's our tradition to do not all of them, but some of some. And the first one is called Lechu Neranena. It goes like this: let us be joyous. We were supposed to do on Shabbat. Lechu Neranena is on page 12. Here we go. Lechu Neranena, Lechu Neranena, Lechu Neranena, Ladonai. Lechu Neranena, Lechu Neranena, Lechu Neranena, Ladonai. Naria, Naria, Letzur Yishenu, Nekadma B'toda. Naria, Naria, Letzur Yishenu, Nizmiro Naria Lo. Lechu Neranena, Lechu Neranena, Lechu Neranena, Ladonai. 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 If you turn ahead to page 20, you'll find the most famous of all Shabbat songs. It was very recently, only 500 years ago, in the northern city of Tzfat in the Galilee. Lechadodi likrat kala. Let us come and greet the bride. And all the guys, and I have to admit it was guys, would dress in white and they go out into the hills to greet the bride. We sing this song as if the bride herself is coming into our midst tonight. So we're going to sing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. In the last verse, everybody's going to rise and face the rear. And when we say the last words of the last verse, Boi Kala, we're going to bow to that side. Maybe the bride will appear. Maybe it's Mariel, I don't know. And we'll bow to this side as well. Maybe it's Deborah. Who knows? She's going to pop in as well. So this tune is being sung right now in the Kabbalat Shabbat service at Camp Harlem with our women of Reform Judaism who are there, including my wife and Hanita and Susan Cohn and Mimi Botkin and others. This is the same tune they use there. And if you don't know it, you'll know it by the end. It goes like this. La 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 lechadodi, la 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 likrat kala, la 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 b'nei Shabbat, b'nei Shabbat b'kam, la 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 lechadodi, la 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 likrat kala, la 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 b'nei Shabbat, b'nei Shabbat b'kam. Shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad Ishmianu el hamiuchad Adonai echad U'shemo echad L'shemo tiferet v'litilai Dai, 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 dai La 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 l'chadodi La 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 likrat kala, la 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 b'nei Shabbat, b'nei Shabbat nekam. Verse 2. Likrat Shabbat, lechu v'nelcha, ki b'kor haveracha, merosh mikedem, mesucha. find something that I think that might be missing from our cue sheet, but we're going to do it anyway. Page 22, you'll find Mizmor Shir Yom Shabbat. We're going to read the English of Mizmor Shir up to the indent. You see where the indent is? Most of the way down the bottom of the page. And then we flip up to the indent at the Hebrew, which is in transliteration. We hope you'll join in and sing An Tzadika Tamar, but first we read together in the English. A song for Shabbat.
It is good to praise Adonai, to sing hymns to your name, O Most High, to proclaim your steadfast love at daybreak, your faithfulness each night. With a 10-stringed harp, with voice and lyre together, you have gladdened me by your deeds, Adonai. I shout for joy at your handiwork. How great are your works, Adonai, how very subtle your designs. A brute cannot know,
A fool cannot understand this.
Look up at the indent in the Hebrew. If you'll turn one more page on the right-hand side, you'll sing, I don't know, I could call it an oldie but a goodie, Shalom Aleichem, where we greet the Shabbat angels. It's a tune I think you know. Please join in.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Bochem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Seifem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu.
Please turn the page and rise for the Chatzi Kaddish before the Baruch Hu, the call to worship.
Yitgadal v'yitgadash Shemei Rabbah. V'yalamad v'rach Yerutei v'yamalech malchutei. B'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael. Ma'ala u'vizman kariv v'yimeru. Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah mevorach, mi'olam le'almei almaya. Yitbarach, yitbarach v'yishabach v'yikar v'yitromam, v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal, Shemei Dekudeshah. V'lam in koberchata v'shirata. Ushmechata v'lechemata, damira mi'alma, v'imeru. Amen.
Please turn the page. It should be on page 30.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidbaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chokhmah potech she'arim, u'bitbuna meshane itim, u'machalif et hazmanim, u'misader et hakochavim, b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtzono, borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, u'mavir yom u'mevi layla, Mavdil ben yom uvein laila, Adonai tzvaot shemo. El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim.
Turn the page. If you know the tune, please join in. Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael. ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נגע יומם ולילה, נגע יומם ולילה. ואהבתך תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל, אוהב עמו ישראל. Please turn the page and rise for the Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod, Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
Please be seated and turn the page. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך ושרתם לאות ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Now, on the facing page in English, you'll find the essence of this Ve'ahavta. We don't usually repeat in English after we pray because we figure God got it the first time. But for us, we're told that the Ve'ahavta is so important. It must be prayed, at least in essence, in a language understood by the heart. So I'll ask you to join with me on the facing page. Love your God with every heartbeat,
with every breath, with every conscious act.
Keep in mind
the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work, whether you are tired or you are rested. Let them guide the work of your hands.
Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all of my mitzvot, so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai, your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai, your God.
Turn all the way ahead to 41, or it's 159 in the parentheses. And Rabbi Gorban's going to lead us in reading that prayer. Then we'll look on the facing page for the Micha Mocha.
Sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come, the song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more, the song of a world redeemed, the song of peace.
Adonai et Yaakov, ugelo mi et chazak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai, Kal Yisrael.
Amen. If you turn to 42, you'll find the prayer for lying down in peace and waking up to life. My Christian friends know this one. They say, now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep if I should die before I wake, and that's when I always wake up. So there's a beautiful tune by Dan Nichols we've been learning the last month here with Rabbi Gorban. And why don't you get in front of the microphone so people can hear your guitar? It's kind of fun. There's an English part too.
Eventually, maybe you'll learn the English too, so you can sing along. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Spread a shelter of your peace over us. Guide us with wisdom, compassion, and
So, the last thing we do before the Amidah, the central prayer before the central prayer for the middle of the Shabbat evening service, is called Vishamru. Vishamru is not exactly a prayer. It's a biblical passage, Exodus 31, 16 to 17, and it says that we have a perpetual responsibility to observe Shabbat. These words were written 3,300 years ago, and yet we still observe them today. If you want to see it, it's on page 44. It's a beautiful melody. Another Debbie Friedman Golden Oldie. It goes like this. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat Lazod et ha-Shabbat ledorotam Berit olam Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz ubayom hashvi'i Shabbat, Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat, Shabbat vayinafash. The Amidah is composed of 7 blessings, 7 prayers that end Baruch Atah Adonai, praised are you, and you fill in the blank. But actually the most important prayer is not of that form. It's the prayer on page 46. It's a very simple 2-line prayer. The prayer is that we might actually be able to pray. Please rise for the beginning of the Amidah. Adonai sifatai tiftachu fi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor v'Hanora El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim v'Konei HaKol V'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot U'Mevi Geula Livnei B'neihem Le'man Shemo Be'ahava Melech Ozer u'Moshiach u'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Turn the page. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai Mechayeh kol atarav lehoshia Morid hatah Mechalkel chayim bechesed Mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim Somech noflim verofech olim Umatir asurim Umekayeh be'emunato Lishenei afar Michamocha ban gevurot Umido melach Melech memid umechayeh Umatzmiach Yeshua V'ne'eman atah l'chayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai Mechayeh hakol. Turn again. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh U'kadoshim b'chol yom ha'alelucha selah Baruch atah Adonai ha'el ha'kadosh. Please turn the page and sit down, and we'll give many, many heaven points for anybody who can figure out what page we're actually on. Please be seated. We're past the Kedushat Hashem. Anybody? Call out a page number. Where do you think we are? What did you say? 54? You win the prize. You don't have to go to Yom Kippur this year. No. We're on page 55 when we read together at the top of the page. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day.
May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise.
Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. Page 57 in the middle.
You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. But before we say the Chatimah,
Yes,
today is a special day.
it is, because it's Rosh Chodesh for Elul, which is the last month of the year, which tells you Rosh Hashanah is right around the corner. And if you look on the facing page, if you would please, there's the special prayer for Rosh Chodesh, the new month.
Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, ya'aleh ve'yavo v'yizacher zichronenu, v'zichron kol amcha beit Yisrael lefanecha, l'tova, l'chein, u'chesed, u'rachamim, l'chaim, u'shalom, b'yom Rosh HaChodesh hazeh, Zochrenu Adonai Eloheinu bo letova.
Amen.
Ufokdenu bo livracha.
Amen.
Vehoshienu bo lechaim.
Amen.
Our God and God of our fathers and mothers, on this first day of the new month, be mindful of us and all your people, Israel, for good, for love, for compassion, life, and peace. Remember us for well-being.
Amen.
Amen.
Visit us with blessing.
Amen.
Amen.
Help us to a fuller life.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai hamachzir shechinato letzion.
Amen. On page 59, there's a beautiful hoda'ah. That means that's not a hoedown. That's something different. A hoda'ah is a thank you. And this thank you in the middle of the page is based on Psalm 8. Because we not only give thanks for the miracles of our lives every day, but for the world in which we live. So I'll invite you to read with me where it says, when we behold. When we behold your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and stars that you set in place.
What are we humans that you are mindful of us?
We
Mortals that you take note of us. You made us little less than divine, adorned us with glory and majesty. You gave us dominion over your handiwork, laying the world at our feet. How majestic is your name throughout the earth.
Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha na'el hodot. The Shalom Rav is on the next page, page 60. Please feel free to join in.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata Tasim leolam, shalom rav Yisrael amcha. Tasim leolam, v'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael, b'chol עת ובכל שעה, בשלומך. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim
Baruch atah Adonai v'varech Amo Yisrael v'shalom. It's our custom in Temple Sinai that after the Amidah, you have a moment with your own thoughts. And what an August it's been. For all the rain at the beginning of the month, or excuse me, the beginning of the summer, All the summer camps that complained they couldn't even go outside, much less have Shabbat outside in their chapels. Now, it's just gorgeous. And I have more tomatoes than I know who wants to. I'll bring tomatoes next week. Don't say yes, I'll do it. We have zucchinis. We have beans and green beans, all kinds of wonderful things. And some of you, when you bite into corn and you taste the butter and the salt and the corn, it takes you back to when you were 6. What I'd like you to do, you're not 6 anymore. It takes her back. It takes her back to when she was 6. So why don't you take a moment, as this month is passing so fast, and give a silent prayer in your heart for that which is truly memorable and enjoyable in your life, for that which gives you the memory of a sweet taste of corn on the cob with butter and salt dripping, and the goodness of this world with all its troubles. Give thanks for what we have. Turn ahead in your books to 253. In the middle of the page, you'll find the Mishaberach of Healing. It's our custom in the Reform movement that we don't wait for a Torah service to offer Mishaberach. Some of you may not be here when we offer a Torah service, and so the idea here is to call to mind those who are not well enough to even be with us, those who right now are in a hospital bed and terrified about what might come in the next 24 hours, or those who are in a nursing home bed and they face the sadness of a long weekend without even one visitor. Or those who simply walk the earth with a stone in their heart, or face the daily battles of addiction. We wish for refuah shlema for them all, complete healing of body, mind, and spirit. If there's the name of somebody that you would like us to hold into our hearts as the Mishaberach, his son, I'm going to go around the room, and if there's a name you want to say, just say it out loud. You don't even have to raise your hand. You're so polite. Just call it out. If you want to use the Hebrew, we say the Hebrew name, then son or daughter of mothers, because all healing is in the name of mothers. I'm going to say the name of my father, Larry Gibson, who had a heart procedure yesterday, but is on the mend, Kanahora Poo Poo Poo. I'm a rashless Reformed Jew who says Yiddish superstitious things all the time. If you would like, you can sing Mishaberach with us. For those for whom you want healing, you can simply sit back and close your eyes and let it wash over you. Either way, it's our moment for healing. Mishaberach is on 253.
May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misheberach imotenu mikor havracha liavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
I'm going to ask my colleagues to take a seat. I have a couple remarks I'd like to share tonight. Just last week, I was with Mariel's sister Zoe down at camp in Morgantown. I try now to do one Shabbat at Emma Kaufman Camp every year. I broke a long-standing pledge that I wouldn't do that because 19 years ago when I did go, they looked at me and said, "You're the rabbi, you stand over there," and did nothing. There's a newer director, and he wants rabbinic involvement. He said, "Come on down for Shabbat." I did last year, so I wanted to do it this year as well. But I also do know that when I come down, I am treading on sacred ground. Camp traditions. You don't mess with camp traditions. But I could modify them just a little bit. They gave a space for me not only to help play guitar with the kids, they allowed me to tell a story. The story was a two-part story, Friday night, Saturday morning. They didn't know that, but I told a Friday and Saturday story in 2 chapters. I told the story of when I was in 3rd grade in Little League in Demorest, New Jersey, and I was pretty good. My best friend going back to 1957, Paul Follansby, who I just saw a couple weeks ago, he was the pitcher. He was in 3rd grade. He had a curveball he could control. He ruined his arm by age 12, by the way. Don't try to throw a curveball, okay? Just say okay. And I was pretty good too. I played first base, but we had our rivals. He was a great pitcher. I was a very good hitter. I hit .560 that year. I know because Paul's father, the coach, who was the Methodist minister in town, kept very careful records because baseball is all about stats. The day you can do long division, you become a baseball fan because you can do ERAs and you can do batting averages, all that kind of thing. It was the last game of the season. We were tied with our rivals. We were the Lions. And we were playing the Spartans, and they were bad people because they were our rivals. I don't know if they were bad or not, but we thought they were bad. And I, one time in the season, wanted to get a home run. I was a good singles and doubles hitter. Once I got a triple. And I took hold of a ball, and you have to remember, in those days, there were no fences. So the ball would just roll and roll. And so I got a hold of one, got it between the left fielder and the center fielder, and I said, "This is it. This is it. I'm going to get a home run." And I was rounding first, headed for second, and I saw the center fielder going to pick up the ball. And just as I was passing second, he was picking up the ball. I said, "I better speed up." And there at third base was Paul Follansby's father, Reverend David Follansby, like this. And I had a decision to make. Tough decision for a third grader. Was I going to obey my coach, or the one time of year in my entire career was I going to go for the home run? And I ran right through the sign. Headed for home. The ball was already in the cutoff guy's hand, the shortstop. He flung it to the catcher. I said, oh, he's not going to throw it accurately. Catcher got it right there. And he's just waiting for me. He's holding it in his bare hand, waiting for me, and he's ready to just touch me with it. And I say, oh, I can score if I simply get him to drop the ball. So I fling myself into the catcher, and he just goes, boop, and I'm out, and I'm furious. I'm furious that I was so much of a failure getting my one home run, but that did not begin to approach the anger of Reverend David Follensby, who pulled me aside like this, and I'm crying, and I got tears going down dust on my face. And he said, how could you even think of that? Why didn't you think of the team? Why didn't you think of all of us? You just thought of yourself. I know, I just wanted a home run. That's all. One. I was so depressed. That was the Friday night story. And the idea was very clear. Everybody got it. You know, think of everybody, not just yourself, and what you want, what you need. And the next day I told the end of the story, which was while I was walking home, just with my glove dangling behind me, my father drives up in the old Ford Country Squire with the fake wood on the side. Remember those? Right? And he says, what's wrong? And I told him what happened. He said, oh, you really blew it, didn't you? Thank you for the sympathy, Dad. And I was so sad. He looked at me and said, when is this day going to come again? He said, next year. You know, he said, think about it, Jamie. And I realized that next year, it would have an extra digit on the year. I said, well, next month, but it's not going to be the same, and on and on. And I finally realized this day will never come again. And our commentators on the Torah portion of A are stunned that it begins, behold, I set before you today, this day, blessing and curse. And they ask, why? The Berdichever Rebbe and Kedushat Levi ask, why this day? Because every day is an entire world. Every day is a chance to do something the way you didn't do it before. We say this every morning when we say, Michadesh Yom Tamid Maasev Bereshit. Every day, creation is renewed. If creation is renewed every day in Jewish tradition and thought, you are renewed every day. My father was trying to tell me something. He was trying to tell me that today was crummy, and I was selfish, but it would end. And I'd have tomorrow to make decisions all over again. This weekend, Saturday night into Sunday, starts Elul. 1 month before Rosh Hashanah, where every day we're supposed to be a little bit more serious about taking our account of ourselves. Every day is a day where we have to look backward, look forward, and decide where we are. Every day that we get toward Rosh Hashanah is not just a day where Rabbi Gorban and I go, what are we going to say in our sermons? Where Cannon Berman says, can I learn all the music? Where Sammy says, where's my mother? Or she says, where's Sammy? It's a day where we take responsibility. We take responsibility every day by not giving in to our past performance. That in the words of my professor, Tal Becker, Sammy, come here. Oh, we lost him. So I want to leave you with a question about today, the Re'eh passage of the Parsha. I set before you blessing and curse, Hayom, this day. And just ask yourself a question every day of the next month. What are you going to do today to make tomorrow better than yesterday? What are you going to do today, Hayom, to make tomorrow better than yesterday? Say it with me. What are you going to do today to make tomorrow better than yesterday? That's how you become a blessing. Amen. Well, I've been waiting for months for this. Harold, it's time to come on up. I get to offer a blessing for the special birthday for my friend. It's a blessing for him reaching the age where he can sign up for government-sponsored health care. No, he can ride. Stand over here. This is where you stand. Yes. Oh, come on up. Wait a minute, Sam's not the only attention seeker here. This is Hi, Gingy. How you doing? So face me, friend. Eloheinu v'Eloi Avotenu v'Imotenu, our God and God of our fathers and our mothers. Our tradition says that when one reaches 60, one is a zaken, an elder. When one reaches 70, one is a seva, a white-haired one. And you who stand in the middle position
With no hair.
with gorgeous hair, you reflect on a life that you've led, a life that's filled with hope and challenge, with success and difficulty. And you look at the life you have now and the grandchild that you hold, and you are blessed beyond any words that I could ever offer. And yet this community, that even though 4 years removed, you must know still loves you. And this is the place where you were born. This is the place where you were nourished. This is the place where your gifts became manifest to so many. It's our hope and our prayer here, my hope and prayer, that your blessings continue for years to come. That the love you have for your mother and her for you, the love you have for your partner and Maureen's for you, the love for your brother and his wife and theirs for you, the love of your children and this gorgeous Morgan here, this grandchild. That love blooms eternally. I see it every time I look at your eyes, that you know how blessed you are. May you be blessed throughout your entire life with that same kind of love and joy and health and hair, even as you're blessed at this moment. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, may God bless you and keep you. Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka, may God cause God's light to shine on you, be gracious to you. Yisad Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God lift up God's presence to you and grant you wholeness and joy, love, friendship, devotion, and peace. That together we all say, Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו להזמן הזה. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, ruler of all, who has caused us to live, sustained us, and allowed us to reach this very happy moment in your life, and you sharing it with all of us. So together we all say, Amen. Say Yeshua. Okay, love you. It is entirely appropriate to note, as I said at the beginning of the service, if you walked in late, that this is the first opportunity for Canon Berman, Rabbi Gorban, and I to do services together. And we are so delighted. We are going to be doing services in the sanctuary for the rest of the summer. So come and get your seat early. And we're going to be singing together and telling stories together and getting ready for 5776. Vi, you all right? Those are happy tears, I hope. Well, you're the matriarch of 4 generations. You better enjoy it, right? So if you look at your prayer book and turn to page, what are we, 282. On 282, you'll find the Aleinu prayer, which is the ending section. Oh, I should probably do announcements too. Thank you, Rabbi Gorban. You keep me from getting into trouble. Canon Berman, I do want you to know, in case you didn't, that our cantorial music is underwritten in part by a generous grant from Edgar Snyder. I want to thank our Shabbat greeters. Where's Betsy? And where's Rebecca? And where's Bill? He was there. There he is. He moved himself into the back. Where's our Oneg volunteer, Lauren Koblenz? Wonderful to have you here. She's head of the Neshama Center for Jewish Spirituality. The Oneg is sponsored by the entire Marcus family in honor of Harold's 65th birthday. There's Torah study tomorrow in the Falk Library at 8:30 in the morning. There is morning minyan for Shabbat Shachrit at 9:15. And we are still urging people to sign up already for the fall. In September, we go back to our 76-78 schedule. And the second week of the month, the 6 o'clock service, we want you to enjoy Shabbat dinner, either hosting or having a guest. And believe it or not, the people who said, oh, I could never be a guest in somebody's house, I don't know, they've had fabulous times. And so we hope that you will either host or be hosted, because Shabbat dinner is just about as important as any story that I might tell on Shabbat. If you're with us for the first time, we're delighted that you're here. We hope to have a chance to talk a little bit more after the service. And now, on 282 in the middle of the page, we'll ask you to rise for Aleinu. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתקן ולעליות סדר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. We're going to skip ahead in our books to V'ne'emar, which is on 287.
נאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
Please turn to 291 for a brief reading before the Mourner's Kaddish. It's hard to sing of oneness when our world is not complete, when those who once brought wholeness to our life have gone, and naught but memory can fill the emptiness their passing leaves behind. But memory can tell us only what we were in company with those we loved. It cannot help us find what each of us alone must now become. Yet no one is really alone. Those who live no more echo still within our thoughts and words, and what they did is part of what we have become. We do best homage to our dead when we live our lives most fully, even in the shadow of our loss. For each of our lives is worth the life of the whole world, and each one is the breath of the ultimate one. In affirming the one, we affirm the worth of each one whose life, now ended, brought us closer to the source of life. In this unity, no one is alone, and every life finds purpose. It's our custom at Temple Sinai that if you are mourning, when we read the name of your loved one, we'll ask you to rise. And we begin with those who've recently died. We say the name of Neely Tal Snyder, age 37, who was killed in a motor vehicle accident on August 10th, a co-founder of JQ Baltimore, a grassroots Jewish LGBTQIA outreach and support group. We say the name of Marianne Brick, the sister of Denise Galpern, Shira Banky, the 16-year-old who was killed, a victim of hate at the LGBT parade in Jerusalem, Saeed Dawabsha, 31 years old, who died after fighting for his life over a week since the arson attack in the West Bank, and his infant son, Ali Saad Dawabsha. Malachi Moshe Rosenfeld, a 25-year-old victim of a drive-by shooting who died in Jerusalem this past Monday night. Arlene Edelman, the wife of Herb. Myron Samuel Landis, the father of John Landis and Kendra Coyle. Corinne Blackman, the mother of Susan. The two women killed in the Grand Theater in Lafayette, Jillian Johnson and Macy Bro. Klaus Braun, the father of Carrie. Paul McGill, the grandfather of Deborah. And Joan Schwartzman, the mother of Evelyn Whitehill, the grandmother of Jack Whitehill, and our congregant B. Green. And now we remember those whose recent deaths we still mourn, the memories of their deaths we still call to mind on their yahrzeits. When I call the name, if it's your loved one, please rise. Nancy Alter, Florence Anderson, Gloria Berkowitz, Sarah Berman, Sandra Blackson, Mary Bloomer, Rose Bodek, Alice Brandeis and Herbert Brandeis, Pete Buncher, Rose Kolker and David Davidson, Bertha Fox Dickman and Sadie Dobkin, Morris Esmond, Stephen C. Feinstone, and Forrestine S. Fisher, William Fishback and Yetta H. Frank, Bernard Friedman and Ida Fromer, Elise Gaston, Esther Perlman Githitz, Linda Goldberg, Rachel Goldberg, Max M. Greenberg, and Max Hadberg, John R. Hanlon Sr., Howard Harris and Mary Harris, George Helfont and David Kalk, Bertha Katz, Jordan Lilienthal, and Libby Mann, Eleanor Mole, Sophie Newman, Abraham A. Radin, and Nathan Reuter, Harold Rutenberg and Ben Soblowski, Betty Schulmeister and Ruth Schwartz, Robert Shapiro, Randy Susan Silverman, Rita Smith, Samuel Pat Solomon, Amalia Steinbach, Abraham Traub, Sophie Winkle, Meta Weinstein, Susan Weiss, Sam Weitz, Rose Zager, and Rachel Samuel. We honor all of them, and it's our long-held custom here that no mourner should ever need to stand alone. So we ask the congregation to rise with them, and all who will may join in Mourner's Kaddish on 294. Yit Gadol, Yit Kadash, Shemei Rabbah, V'yomad Yivrach Yirutei, V'yamlich Malchutei, V'chayechon V'yomechon V'chayei D'chol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala V'izman Kariv Yimru Amen. Yehi Shnei Rabbah V'rach Le'olam Olamei Omayah. Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yipa'ar V'yitromam V'yitnaseh, Yitadar V'yitaleh V'yitalal Shmei Kudusha Brichu, Le'elam Min Kol Birchata V'shirata, Tushbechata V'nechemata, Da'amiran B'yama V'yimru Amen. Yehi Shlomo Rabbah Min Shemaya, V'chayim Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael V'yimru Amen. Oseh Shalom B'mrumav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom, Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael V'yimru Amen. May the source of peace in the high heavens cause peace to descend on all of us and all Israel, upon a world broken and terribly in need of healing, upon all of us here who mourn our beloved dead, as together we say.
Amen.
We're going to ask you to sit, and we're going to enter into the repentance season with really one of the first songs I ever learned from Debbie Friedman. It's called Hashivenu. It has an English part called Return Again, Return to the Land of Your Soul. And some of you know this. You can sit, Selma, okay? I know some of you know. We're not going to do the round tonight because we're running a little late because I'm a storyteller who doesn't know how to end his stories. It goes like this. Return again, return again, return to the land of your soul again. Return again, return again, return to the land of your soul. Return to who you are, return to what you are, return to where you are, born and reborn and reborn. Now, if you look at 358 in your books, I'll just strum. It's called vamping, not vaping. Hashivenu, Hashivenu, Adonai Elecha, V'nashuva, V'nashuva, Hadish, Hadish, Yameinu Kikedem. Hashivenu, Hashivenu, Adonai Elecha, V'nashuva, V'nashuva, Hadish, Hadish, Yameinu Kikedem. We're going back to the English. Return again, return again, return to the land of your soul again. Return again, return again, return to the land of your soul. Return to who you are, what you are. Return to what you are, where you are. Return to where you are, born and reborn and reborn. Please rise. Baruchim atem b'voachem, Baruchim atem b'tzeitchem. Me'atav ad olam. May be blessed every place you come in. May be blessed everywhere you go. As together we all say,
Amen.
Kids, come on up. It's cookie time. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei minei mizonot. Praise you, Adonai, our God, ruler of all, who makes animal crackers and other cookies. As together we say, Amen. Shabbat shalom. It's like you've never seen cookies before. Okay. We'll see you in there.